up, down into your heels. So again, a lot of the pounding and stomping in Tai Chi is because the lymphatic system is connected to all the glands and the organs, and it circulates clear fluid into the blood. And it doesn't have its own pumps. So us walking, us walking and us bouncing is causing these one-way bounds, pull, pull, pull. So jumping, and I don't know if you've been to the airport lately, but like kids under 30, 25, kids, right? Let's go back, who aren't moving enough, they're just bouncing like crazy. And they're basically burning off energy and innervating their lymphatic system. Like if your leg bounces and you bounce around, the body needs to move, and it's kind of automatically doing that. Hands on your knees, soften your back. So sit. Push up to the right and down to the left. And let your body tell you how to move. So again, Western stretching, just we'll pause after this, and down to the line. And we'll pause here just to talk for a second. So Western stretching, what it tells us to do is lock a joint, and grab a body part, and pull across it, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone says, like Tai Chi warm-ups, or we're just warming up like when we get to the good stuff. Yeah. But in essence, what we're doing is we're using the muscles on opposite sides of the joint. We're freeing the joint, which allows synovial fluid to enter, and we're warming the joint simultaneously. So if you watch the Olympics, and you watch the different countries and you watch their warm-ups, it's spectacular because the Asian and East European countries, they're all doing circular motions. Mm-hmm. So let's do our waist, circle our waist. And I even saw the weightlifting, this is a few years ago, the East European countries like the Ukrainians, their warm-ups for the powerlifting, they climbed into this heated sleep zone. Like that is their warm-up, and I'm like, that is perfect. Literally warming the body up. Yeah. And reverse. The other thing that's intrinsic to Tai Chi, go up to the shoulders and find your heels. Push up to the back and rotate the shoulders and just let the arms relax. Unique to Tai Chi is that we're using the big muscles of the body and letting it transfer up to the smaller ones versus taking a small body part like the wrist and putting it down. Push from the ground. Close on your throat. Relax your chest and transfer your back. So on this one, you want to be working to try to stretch all the way down into the chest and also all the way down the back. Side to side. So find your left heel. Push with your left heel and lay your right shoulder. If you're listening, push with your right heel and lay your left heel on your left shoulder. So then lastly, to encourage like flexibility above the bar, we're going to use something like elasticity of the body to stretch the arms. So the idea that there will be, rather than using muscle to get up, we're going to bounce and kind of to move through this. So we're going to do fists together, 1, 2, hands out, 1, 2, now right hand up, left hand down. Put your left hand back and then switch. So that's what it's going to look like. And throw it back so that it bounces back. So you're using that repercussion rather than your own muscle. Okay? So we'll do this 4 times. 1, 2, hands up. Right hand up. Left hand back. Sometimes you get a really good back here. Yeah, crack something. Your arms are everyone's arms are pretty weak in terms of the body, right? Yeah. So training will move from the body like that. Makes sense. How was that as far as tiredness?
Yeah, like that I can feel in my shoulders. It's like when I do this, it's like whoa, like it's bones.
Good. Yeah, just push forward that, and then back down. Okay, so let's do some. Next we'll do self-wheeling. Take a wide in the shoulder to stand. Right hand under the knee, left hand in front of the left eye. Push across, up, over, and down. So at first, just concentrate on making a box, leaving this palm the whole way. And then when you have the weight shifts down, round up the corners. Make a circle in front of you. So on the bottom it comes by the belly button, and on the top it comes by right in front of the eyes. Last one is on the right. Palm down, left, palm up, cross. Once you have the weight shifts down, just round out the corners. Last one. not a magical number. It's just a number. Do everything 9 times.
Arms, like kind of tensing them so that it feels like you're pushing, or should it be loose?
Imagine that you're just trying to feel the air on your arm.
Okay.
So there's intention.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. There's intention, like I'm trying to stop something, if you will. But just try to push.
Right.
There.
Okay.
The other thing that I'm doing. So right now our right leg is loaded.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually pushing from my right leg to my left leg. And the height of your stance just depends on your flexibility. You can do this completely standing up with your feet shoulder width apart. But the wider you can get your legs, the greater you influence your balance. You can get a little leg workout too. And then stop on the right and reverse. So now the left hand is the lower hand, and that's going to lead. Drop your right. Palms are still going the same direction. Exhale, push down. Keep pushing down. Do the legs to the ground. So as a point, I'll just show you different levels and the way people progress. So you have back problems, you have low energy. This is a great stance. This still works. What's important is that I'm pushing up from the top of my head and down from the tailbone. So this is still really good Tai Chi, even though I'm in a high stance. As I get here, notice that I don't want to be here, so I'm going to go only as wide as I'm able to maintain that. This is still really good, Tai Chi. And sometimes if you start getting really wanting to get better, your form falls apart.
Okay.
So ultimately, by maintaining this, when you get lower, you can get the flexibility you need, but it has to start high. And then we've just got these motions. Ultimately, further down the road, there's this really nice circulate that's going on with the legs, which after doing this 2 to 3 months, you can start to incorporate that. But in essence, what it causes is this kind of accordion nature of the body through this, and it feels real nice. So this is a great way to start, even this. And ultimately, we just kind of want to boost to the ground and expand out. Okay. So next, we're going to do the Chen Tai Chi short form. It's a 26 movement form. And here really slowly last night. And the goal of it is basically to follow along as best you can. And your sole focus would be on just expanding your breath. And what that means, which is hard because we gotta let the belly out, but in essence, if you completely expand out, it's not going to be very pretty. So you just want to let the air go out. Largely, most of the breathing is done through the nose, which oxygenates the blood. I read something recently. There's a lot of research on nitrogen levels that are actually released through the nose, which actually they've been using in COVID therapy. Kind of interesting. So we're going to go through the form slowly together. So start with your feet together. We'll begin with the bow, so step forward with your left. Your right. Step back with your right. So talk for a minute about modification, and then we'll end with some real nice breathing. So Tai Chi is 100% modifiable. That's the form, but in essence, this is fine. This is fine. So you can adjust your stance up. Same thing. Chen Tai Chi has these punches, and you can just go out. They've got these kicks, right? And you can just hit your knee rather than your foot. Same thing, there's these single leg postures which we want to work towards because it challenges us. But if that's not there yet, you just put your toe down. The idea is that you have all the weight on one leg. And then lastly, this is 26 moves. And there's times when I do the first 3 moves 9 times. I just do half. I do the form twice if I've got more energy. So do a portion, work towards the full thing, but depending on your energy, depending on your injury, depending on your limitation, know that even the most in shape person, they're going to have low days, they're going to have high days, they're going to have 100-degree days in Texas, and it would be too boxing to say always do this many moves this way. We want to work in that direction, but it's modifiable for how we change throughout the year. Okay. So there's an aspect that's going on. We'll end with breathing techniques, and I like to touch on this one because it's one of the more common breathing techniques. So there's 2 or 3 that have made it into common language, which I'm excited about. It's this Indian breathing style, something called bellows breathing, and something called box breathing or 4-square breathing. And I'm super excited about the fact that they've entered mainstream and people are using them, because there's this idea about mindfulness or calming your system, especially related to stress or post-traumatic stress. But it's like, what? Just sit there. And the way to get through it is with the breath. So the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, the one that keeps us calm, the one that makes us run if we're scared, are largely governed and or influenced by oxygen and carbon dioxide. So when we're stressed, we tense up, we shorten our breath, and we oxygenate the blood. So we can stop that by deoxygenating the blood. And one way through that is through square breathing. I like this one the most because it requires very little thinking. So all we're going to do is you're going to breathe in for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 4 times 4. That's the way, if you were to Google it, those are the instructions you get. And what I'm going to add is the beginning and the end to this. Okay? So it makes sense. You wouldn't start a workout without warming up. So all we're going to do is put your hand on your stomach. If you're sitting down, they could be on your laps. But if you stick your thumb in your belly button, your palm is going to be over your lower core energy center, Hara, Dantian. So your job for this part is just to breathe and watch your breath. So you and I have had different levels of caffeine. We're different sizes, different ages. So there's no way you and I could be breathing at the same pace. It's just probably not possible. So don't judge it, just watch it. And as you watch it, because you're putting attention on it, it's going to slow down. And that's all we want to do, is get it slowed down before we do the breathing. So in and out for 8 times and just watch it. Okay? And you want to get it down to here where your hand is. One thing that you'll notice is that your ears immediately perk up and you're probably hearing the birds and you didn't notice them, or maybe that truck. And the other thing is, if you breathe calmly, you'll start to hear your heartbeat. So pay attention to that too. So breathing occurs in and out through the nose. Your teeth are just slightly together. Tongue is against the upper palate. And hold your face like you would see a Buddhist statue, more towards a smile than towards anything that might resemble anger. Don't force it. So I'm going to use a timer for purpose of illustration for the square breathing, and for the second. We'll stop there. So that's square breathing in a nutshell, but it begs the question, we're not all the same gender, same race, living in the same climate. Whatever you're dealing with in your life is not what I'm dealing in my life. Caffeine levels, energy levels. So how can that be accurate for everyone? Even accurate for me on every single day? And the answer is that it can't. But by getting us to this point, we can go inside our body. So this is super cool. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same thing, and when you're holding your breath, go inside, and I don't know if you felt that, but you can hear your heartbeat when you hold your breath.
Yeah.
That's your beat.
Okay.
So what's cool, and this is kind of trippy, is that on the first one it'll be like probably close to that, and then by the second one it'll get stronger, and then you can actually feel it hiccup and drop down. So your last four are like boom, 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 boom. And that is you switching out of fight or flight.
Okay.
This is like, I don't even know that it's 100 seconds, but it's a quick drill and way to do that. So we're going to do that again, and obviously you're on your own pace, but we're going to go 4 times 4. And when you're holding your breath, hear your heartbeat, and that's your count. Okay? What is it?
It's hard to hear the heart, I think. It was very faint, so I wasn't sure if it was on to it, but it's very good. Like, I was paying attention to all of that, instead of whatever else. So,
and that's a great insight. Like, I think that this tricks you into mindfulness.
Yeah.
Because that's what you need to be doing, is getting inside and paying attention just for a split second.
Right.
And trying to get to that. I often have the experience that I start sometimes getting faint because I'm not breathing deep enough, which is what we're all doing during the day. So the first time I go through it, and all of a sudden it's like boom, boom, and I'm like, So I really have to work to take in more air on the inhales.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my problems. I think from my lung issue, like, I can't breathe as deeply, which shouldn't be a problem. It's just that I think I've kind of been conditioned over time to taking shallow breaths. So like when I take deeper breaths, it feels very tight and shallow and hard to do that.
And that's absolutely true of everyone.
Yeah.
Most of us spend our day
Yeah.
like this versus like this. You need a practice that reminds you to expand that.